I'm jumping in here now, look. So, right, what you don't realise is I'm going to be on Points West tonight, and I've got the two guys here. Steve Nibbs has been here before talking about my uncle's war medal, and we've also got the cameraman. I've forgotten your name, sir. Steve.
Wow.
Two Steves. I can't mess up, can I? So Steves and Steves. Now, who shall I go to first?
We want to go to the proper Steve.
Yeah, because you got it. So, Steve, you've got a hell of a camera here, haven't you? What exactly is that? Is that all HD and Super 4K or anything?
It's quite old now.
It's
not as impressive as it looks. It's probably, I don't know, getting on for 15 years old. It's very heavy.
Are they still using a lot of these cameras on outside broadcasts and stuff? Because quite often you sort of see people using a lot smaller stuff now.
We're about to get rid of these.
Are you?
Yeah, I've been promised
Really?
a very much smaller one.
Really?
More like that.
Really?
size.
It's a lot easier, isn't
and
it?
It can come sooner.
No, but fair play. You've done some work. You've earned this money, and you're doing a good job today filming me and Steve. Thank you, mate. Thanks, Steve number one. Steve number two.
Hello,
Steve
Rich.
number two. Now, a lot of people will know you as the face of BBC Points West.
One of the faces.
One of the secrets
there are
is
other colleagues.
One of the secrets is I know you always wear trainers.
Oh, you got to stay comfortable. You just film from the waist up, and then that's the big secret. You've just given my big secret.
I know.
Yeah.
So, Steve, what area do you cover? Because you do.
So I'm the Gloucestershire reporter.
Right.
So Gloucestershire, basically, any Gloucestershire related story we'll cover. We're here today with you because we're doing a story about fly tipping. We've been filming up in the Cotswolds. You've been a victim of fly tipping. You're South Gloucestershire, so technically we'll give you that.
Yeah.
But you're in the West Country. So we're here to talk to you today as a farmer who's been a victim of fly tipping, a regular victim of fly tipping, and then we'll go away. I'll edit it all together, and it'll be on the TV tonight.
I'm going to put that report on the end of this. I've got a couple of questions though. What about being a BBC reporter for this area? So I imagine it's a really interesting job. You must wake up every day and think, what am I going to do?
I'm really lucky. I'm born and bred here, so I'm born and bred in Gloucestershire. I've been doing this job back here now for about 18 years, so I went away and came back, and yeah, every day is really different. Yes, the same stories come around every year, but I'm still enjoying it. It's a bit of a cliche, but I think it's a real honour to do this job. It's a real privilege, and you get to meet so many different people.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll interview people that you know, or friends from school that you've not seen for 20 years. But every day is different, and it's brilliant, and you learn stuff all the time, and stuff that you didn't know.
So final question then really, and this is probably a really hard one, you might not be able to answer this. What was your favourite story, or is there a favourite type of story you like covering?
It's really difficult. I mean, we did. I like stories about most stories that involve people, but I like stories that have a real heart, where something really good has happened to somebody that you can give some positive news of. Obviously, some of what we do by the nature is pretty negative. That's the nature of news. But when you can tell a really good, heartwarming story, or you can have a bit of fun. I think this year the favourite thing we've done is cover the cheese rolling in Gloucestershire.
I love that.
Which was just brilliant. We live streamed it on the iPlayer. I think you can still watch it somewhere, and I think that was really good fun. And what that was brilliant to do something very different. People were watching that all around the world. We were showcasing this madcap, crazy thing that happens in Gloucester. So that was really good fun. So yeah, anything like that. Really.
I think what I like about local news is it does cover quite a lot of positive stories, doesn't it? Which you don't necessarily get on the national headlines, because you've got a little bit more time to do it, perhaps.
Absolutely, and I think particularly post-COVID, all of us want some happy news.
Yeah.
So I think we've got a really good balance. If there's a difficult story to tell, we'll do that at the start of the programme. We'll always leave you with a smile on your face, even if that is Ian, the weatherman, telling you it's going to rain. We always try and leave you with a smile on your face. So yeah, we'll try and get around the patch, tell all the different stories, and showcase Gloucestershire and the West Country for the great place it is.
You're doing a great job. Thank you, Steve,
Rich.
and thank you, Steve.
Pleasure.
Awesome.
Bye.
Right. Yeah. Well, I know you'll cut most of it out. It'll end up in the bin. There we go, fantastic. Steve and Steve are just about to go. They're just behind me packing up. So I'm just going to edit in the news bulletin. There's only a little bit of me, really, to be honest. I'm only on it for well, they film quite a bit, but they're probably going to cut out a load. I'm only going to be on there for 10 seconds, but it's an interesting story about fly tipping, and it's the message we need to get out there about the problems involved with it, really, isn't it? So here we go, BBC Points West, thank you.
Hello. Two of our councils have been given extra money by the government to tackle fly tipping. £85,000 will be spent in Wiltshire and the Cotswolds to help them crack down on the problem, and they're reminding homeowners that they're the ones who could face prosecution. Here's our Gloucestershire reporter, Steve Nibbs.
I'm out on patrol with the Cotswolds fly tipping detective, Enviro Crimes Officer Kev Lee. Kev, it's quite a big fly tip.
Something that I don't see every week, but you know, perhaps once a month or so.
It's seen better days and was full of rubbish as well, which has now been cleared away, although others are starting to dump stuff in it.
Maybe the owner couldn't sell it, perhaps there wasn't a second-hand value here. They've just given us the problem.
Kev is trying to trace the owner as there's a number plate on the end, but experience tells him it'll probably come to nothing.
By law, I have to put a notice on here to say that I'm taking it away off the road. There's a report of a few black bags of household waste.
This wasn't a huge fly tip, but it does appear to contain a lot of personal items.
Amongst these bags were just loads and loads of these little children's toys. They could have been given to a charity shop locally. And that's what I'm so disappointed about. Yeah. Unfortunately, the waste carrier hasn't done the right thing. He's made some money and he hasn't got the cost of disposing of that.
Kev and his colleagues at Wiltshire Council have been given a grant to help crack down on fly tipping. Here in the Cotswolds, over 40,000 people will get this through their doors, reminding them that they're ultimately responsible for what happens to their waste and could face prosecution.
They should ask, can I see your waste carrier's licence? They could ask where their waste is going. You know, which tip are you using? Are you using the one down in Malmesbury, or are you going to Chippenham? If people come to your door and notice things in the garden, can I take away that green waste, those trees, those whatever it is, just turn them away.
There's basically a whole kitchen here.
Fly tipping isn't just a problem for councils, but for farmers and landowners too.
And I have to now deal with what some cretins think is a bit of a joke.
Dairy farmer and YouTuber Richard Cornuck often shows the problem to his thousands of followers.
Rubble, concrete.
He told me rubbish gets dumped on his land almost every month, and it's having a huge impact.
A significant amount of my time is wasted by clearing that. There is some expense. I can't just put it all in a wheelie bin. Some of it, you know, I've got to pay someone to take away. And also mentally, it does get to you a bit, really, because if, you know, every time you go to see this, you think, oh, you're not again.
Meanwhile, Kev Lee says the problem isn't getting worse, but it isn't getting better, and that the public have a big role to play in the fight against the fly tippers. Steve Nibbs, BBC Points West, in the Cotswolds. He told me rubbish gets dumped on his land almost every month, and it's having a huge impact.